You say hi, honey?
Hello.
He's over there. Hold on. I gotta do this again. Welcome to this week's cooking vlog. I am starting the vlog off the way I typically do every Monday, baking bread. The keto bread from the keto rolls that I use the dough for this every single week. I have discovered that it is much easier for me to put it in my mixer. Even getting my mixer out and dealing with it and then having to clean it and all of that, it feels a little easier, a little less time consuming. So I'm gonna heat this back up again, then I'm gonna put it in there. We are having Philly cheesesteak for dinner. I have not meal planned yet. We will do that together in the next segment, which will be tomorrow. I haven't had a chance today. Just having gotten back into town from New Orleans yesterday. This weekend we were gone. I just didn't have a chance. So we'll do that tomorrow. And like I mentioned, we're gonna be cooking more from online recipes. I'm sure last week's vlog was short and odd, and I don't know. I haven't edited it yet. So I'll address that once we get to that point in this vlog. But yeah, I didn't cook a lot last week and we traveled. So just sort of had to do it as a keeping keto while traveling. Even though I did cheat a little bit, I didn't gain any weight. I am puffy today, I am puffy, but that'll go away in a few days. Measure out all my dry ingredients, which I usually do before I heat the cheese up, and mix it all together. Those cook in about 10 minutes. I do have bacon in there, par baking. And we have 5 pieces left, so I'm gonna throw those in the pan and just fry them up real quick for dinner tonight. We can throw them on top of the Philly cheesesteak. Here is the brisket I picked up. We froze it from H Mart last month, I think it was. This is prepared for shabu shabu, S-H-A-B-U, S-H-A-B-U. So maybe that's how it's cut. I'm not sure. Honestly, I'm not sure. But, so maybe that's what you can ask if you go to your butcher, if you can get it this thin. I mean, it is paper thin. I love it. Okay, so I'm gonna put away the baking items for the bread. While it's baking, tidy up a bit, and then I'll be back. And we're just gonna cook Philly cheesesteak. I'm gonna throw it in the pan. Do you want mushrooms and onions, honey?
Sure.
I'll make him fry up some mushrooms and onions for him and a little extra bacon. I'll put bacon on mine. So there you go. I need to make a vegetable. I do actually have some frozen broccoli cheese and stuff like that in the freezer that I need to use up. So I may just throw that on the side today for me. I don't know, we'll see. I'm gonna go look and see what I have in there and then I'll show you. They're all cooked. Nice and golden, nice and fluffy. There we go. Nice and brown on the bottom. These seem to have raised a little bit better. I actually think I'm gonna add a little bit more baking soda baking powder to them to give them a little more lift. And hopefully we get a lot of air in there and not the whole bread lifting, just the top layer. So it could be a little over mixing too. Okay, so here is my battery light. The riced veggies I was talking about, this is by HEB. It's cheese and rice, cauliflower, and broccoli. It doesn't say gluten-free, but there are no gluten ingredients in here. Typically seem to have no issue with that. I'll make sure though. But it is 50 calories for 113 grams or 1¼ All right, there's my dinner. I know it looks like a lot, but it's really not. This is a smaller plate. I cut it in half, I put some meat on top, avocado, and there is the broccoli cheese. Dinner was really, really good. the broccoli cheese was pretty good. I think if I made my own cheese sauce, not cream, my own cheese sauce, it would be better, but it was fine for what it was. I won't purchase that again. I'll just buy broccoli and riced cauliflower or just chunks of cauliflower, whatever. I make it myself, is what I'm saying. I may have another one in there, so you may see it again. There's certainly more for tomorrow. Anyway, so it's pretty good. And I did want to touch on the coffee. A lot of you had suggested the nut pods over the last few weeks, and I did pick this up, and it is great. You can froth it with your frother, and it works great. It thickens up, and it's good. I haven't tried I have the original and this one. This one's almost gone. I've been using it the last few days, and I like it. I like it a lot. I also like that it's only 10 calories per tablespoon, so when I drink 4 cups of coffee a day, it's not that bad. So there you go. All right, tomorrow, I don't know what we're cooking for dinner. Real quick, tomorrow we'll go over the meal plan once I get there. Okay, well, it's dinner time. It's 5:30, and we're going to be fixing the Eat Well 101 mozzarella Parmesan chicken casserole. I was gonna make the meatballs tonight, but I actually defrosted chicken and not turkey, which, whatever. So I am trimming the chicken currently. It is massive amounts of chicken, so I'm actually going to double the recipe because it calls for 2 chicken breasts, but 1 chicken breast I have here is the equivalent of 2. So it's the ones from Costco. They're quite large. So I'm going to trim the fat from off the chicken and get it marinating. And Rob is going to trim up all the trim up. What was that? Oh, Rob is going to grate all the cheese for me and our salad shooter and get that going. May as well. I mean, I know I have the other rolls already. We're going to have the best pull-apart keto bread ever from Eating Well 101 as well. So, all right, so he's gonna grate the cheese. I'm gonna cut the chicken. I'll be right back after I throw the marinade together, and I'll show you the pan before it goes in the oven. All right, it's about to go in the oven. There you go. I did not use all the Parmesan, and I did 1.5 cups of the sauce, like I said, because I made a double batch. And now we have 2 full containers of cheese, so that whenever I'm making bread or whatever, it's already shredded and taken care of. And just seal the air out of it. That's really important because there's no anticoagulation agents in this. It can stick together, so you kind of have to fluff it up a little bit before you measure it out, so don't forget that.
And why don't you buy pre-shredded cheese?
Because it has coagulation stuff on it.
Right.
Yes, that's gross stuff. Look. Sometimes you don't know what it is. I mean, it always is just a mystery ingredient, and some of it is not gluten-free, and you know, some of it's rice flour, some of it's cornstarch. It just depends upon the cheese. And I can't have either one of those anymore, but even still, it's less expensive to buy the bulk block of cheese and grate it yourself, especially when you're using as much cheese as you are when you're on keto. Oh my goodness, so much cheese. Okay, I'm gonna start this bread. 1 second. Okay, so this bread calls for bacon. Chandler doesn't like bacon, so we're gonna have to leave that out. So we're just gonna make it like a garlic bread. So it'll be the standard dough recipe. This one calls for a little bit more mozzarella than cream cheese. It's 2.5 cups of mozzarella, 2 ounces of cream cheese, 3 eggs, almond flour, baking powder, and Parmesan cheese, and Italian seasoning. So I will also make some garlic butter to, you know, pour over the top and make it even more delicious. So the Parmesan cheese from Costco comes in long little strips, and for this I feel like it should probably be smaller, like more grated than, or more ground than grated. So you just put your hands in it, and I'll show you. So you just put your hands in it and give it a little twist in your fingers, and it sort of breaks it up a little bit, gives it a little more fine, you know, grate to it. And now I think it'll work better for the purpose we need here. You can also whiz it up in your blender or something. there you go. It's just what I do. Instead of having to buy 2 different kinds of cheeses or whatever the case may be. And I don't have a cast iron pan with high sides. I did get rid of my cast iron pan because it was contaminated with gluten and I've yet to buy another one. So I'm just gonna use a pie plate. Okay, there's the chicken parmesan. That looks delicious. I'm very excited to eat that. That was plenty of cheese. Oh my goodness, very, very good. I am making some pasta for the other 2. And they are going to have that instead of tots. Okay, so this dough is a much more loose dough than the one I have been making recently. So I can see why it calls for the cookie scoop. I did add the additional almond flour, as it said you could if it was just too sticky, and I'm still concerned that it's just entirely too sticky. This is almost like a, it's very, very sticky. So you would not be able to roll this in any way, shape, or form. So, I will use a cookie scoop. I'm probably going to end up needing to spray this. So that's, I may actually, I'm gonna melt some butter and then you can run your scooper through the butter, then scoop and drop into the Parmesan mixture and then roll and put into the pan. That way the butter keeps this nice and like non-stick. So we'll do that 1 second. I'm also not going to use my Kerrygold butter or salted butter because since we're gonna be dipping into it, we don't want it to become too salty. And the Kerrygold's very expensive and we don't wanna waste it on just dipping. And I mean, I suppose we could still use it later to pour over the top, but we'll just do this. Oh my goodness, look at that. That looks so good. I don't think it needs any butter since I dipped it, any additional butter. So I'll just put the garlic butter on the table. But this smells amazing and it looks amazing. Oh wow, okay, let me pull some out, hold on. Yes, this is excruciatingly hot, so I can't. Look at that. Oh. Looks delicious. Oh yeah, I'd stick together because of the cheese. So there we go. All right, there's mine. The chicken parm is delicious. The pull-apart bread is amazing, and then there's my side. Going to eat well tonight. Good morning. I just made, and I didn't show you, I'll show you when I make it again, because I will make this again. I wanted to try it out first before I, really tried it, before I showed you. This is easy keto bread recipe. It's 2-minute keto bread, the diet chef, I believe his name is Duff. Let me just show you this. First of all, this is the bread untoasted. Okay, this looks more like white bread than I have ever seen. The texture feels just like white bread. It's fluffy. I am thrilled with this. I tried it without toasting it. I think you could eat it as a sandwich without toasting it. It's a little chewy, a little bit, but if you toast it, maybe I'm toasting a piece right now. We call my oldest son the champion of bad timing. So I had to eat it because it was toasted and hot, but I was on the phone. And I'm not throwing my child off the phone. So, I mean, sometimes I have to, but anyway, it was very good. I'm going to add salt to the recipe from now on. It does need salt. So basically what I did was I toasted it, I put butter on it, and then I sprinkled a little salt on it. I used salted butter, but it needed more than that. So I will definitely add some salt to the recipe. Okay, so it's dinner time. We're going to have meal prep we're just gonna make them. Garlic butter chicken meatballs, and we're not doing cauliflower rice. I am doing green beans, and I'm very excited about that. I love green beans. So this is from Eating Well 101. One thing about this site is the nutritional facts are not available unless I think you have to pay for it. I'm not real sure. I'm not real worried about it. Basically, I can put everything in my carb manager and get the nutrition facts for it. You can do the same. There's lots of different online programs that you can use that are free. So this looks pretty good. So we have ground chicken, we have shredded cheese, garlic, Italian seasoning. I do not have a bouillon cube. I showed you this a while back. This is chicken salt. This is from an Australian tradition. I tasted a little bit of this. It tastes just like a bouillon cube, and exactly what I wanted it to taste like. So I may make something with this. A quarter of a teaspoon has 0 carbohydrates in it. But that doesn't mean a whole tablespoon does. And this is 1 crumbled bouillon cube, so I would think a quarter teaspoon would be good for that. Maybe a half a teaspoon for a bouillon cube, but whatever. This is what I have. I do have bouillon in there. I have the chicken base. I have that I could use, but I have this, so I'm just gonna use this. Half a cup of chicken stock, salt and pepper. With this, you gotta be careful using salt. Half a cup of fresh parsley, which is optional. I have a little parsley I'll probably use. Butter, and we're skipping the lemon because the rest of my family is not too fond of lemon. And hot sauce, we will skip also because Chandler does not like spicy foods. And then that's it. So, and the cauliflower, but again, I'm using green beans. So I'm gonna mix this all up and then we'll cook it and I'll show you along the way. I'm gonna make tater tots for Rob. I'm gonna have really easy, very simple, very fast. The sauce is reducing right now. I'm gonna throw the meatballs back into it and I'm gonna put a lid on it just because it's turkey. You wanna make sure it's really cooked through. You could throw it in the microwave if you wanted to, but I'm just gonna throw the lid on it and let it just cook for a few more minutes. My green beans are cooking over there and yeah, I mean, it's really, really simple. I really hope this is good because this could be a quick go-to meal, you know, to throw together really, really fast. I'm going to put mine over, or I'm with green beans. I can see why this was good with rice cauliflower because there's a little bit of a sauce with it. So I'm sure it's really good with rice cauliflower. I would imagine. I haven't tried it. But I have my little buns I made earlier in the week. Those are in the toaster oven heating up. Chandler had some of these with some leftover chicken for lunch. These are the pull-apart bread I made yesterday. So I will heat these up for dinner tonight. And if this is not enough of a meal for the men in this house, we do have leftover chicken parm from last evening, which was delicious. So, and if this doesn't turn out great, we can make chicken parm sandwiches. Worst case scenario. I'll show you when it all comes together. Okay, so here it is. So I have 4 little meatballs. I like the darker ones, so I took the darker ones. Green beans and the little roll I made the other day. I'm very excited for this. It smells really good. Of course, the green beans smell delicious. Let me try it for you. I don't really taste the cheese, I just taste the seasoning. Next time I'm gonna use Parmesan cheese. Oh, he ate a tot. I thought he had a meatball. I was seeing what he thought. Next time I'm using Parmesan cheese. The mozzarella cheese just sort of disappears in taste. You don't really taste it. But the sauce is good. The butter sauce, it's delicious. Absolutely delicious. So, yeah, we'll eat this and I'll give you a full review after we, you know, have eaten the whole meal. But I think, I know, a little bit. I think, you okay? Mm-hmm. I think Parmesan cheese would be better. Yeah, they do taste good. You just need Parmesan cheese. Okay, so yeah, I think Parmesan cheese would be better next time in lieu of the mozzarella. And otherwise they were pretty good. A little dry. I probably overcooked them because it's turkey. So always worry about it not being cooked. So maybe not worry so much next time and cook them a little less. Rob really enjoyed them. So there you go. You could add the hot sauce if you wanted to, and the hot pepper flakes if you wanted to add that kind of thing, that's fine. I'll leave everything linked in the description box for you. I think we'll make this again, but I think we'll make it with Parmesan. Okay, good morning. So today we are going to make a 2-minute low-carb English muffin. I know I said that I was gonna do the bread from Duff. I'm not gonna make that again this week, but I've linked his video and his everything below so you can watch him make it. Then this recipe, which is a 2-minute low-carb English muffin. I'm going to make this real quick. I do have some bacon out there about to be batch cooked, well, as soon as it defrosts. That is just the Costco brand. It's not thick cut, regular old Costco brand bacon. Waiting to be cooked, and it was a great price point, so I picked it up. It has nitrates, so this week I chose nitrates in favor of sugar. So this one calls for either unsweetened cashew butter, unsweetened almond butter, or peanut butter. I have peanut butter, so we're gonna use peanut butter. Okay, so here's what we have so far. Now I feel like this needs a few bowls, but we'll see. All right, so we have this. So here's our basic ingredients. That's the wet, the dry, and the peanut butter and egg butter mixture. So now we pour the milk and eggs into the dry ingredients and stir until well combined. Okay, so this says to then pour this into there and mix until well combined. Well, I'm actually gonna pour this into here only because this is actually too small of a ramekin. So let me get a whisk. I'm not a whisk, So in future, I'll just use a bigger ramekin, like this one, which I have prepared, because this makes 2 bagels. So maybe I should use the smaller one and make it thicker. Maybe that's what it doesn't give a specific size for the ramekin, and I wish it would, because that kind of matters. Shallow ramekin. Well, this isn't shallow. So I'm thinking it must mean like a, yeah, it's not real clear. I was thinking maybe like a, not a souffle. What is the word I'm looking for? Creme brulee type pan. Maybe that's what it's looking for. I don't know, it doesn't give specifics. I need to go back to the recipe. Sometimes recipe notes provide more information, and so I'll go back and read that. Alrighty, there we go. Now let's pour this into here. Again, multi-steps that were unnecessary because I don't think I have the right size ramekin. This ramekin is sprayed with some coconut oil. You hear Millie back there snorting. All right, so there we go. I know, Mama. All right, so I'm gonna put that in the microwave. It says to microwave it for 2 minutes. So I'll be right back. Here we go. That's what it is. All baked. Now let's turn it out. It's very warm. The container is very warm. Let me turn it out. There we go. Not too bad. Okay. Little air holes here. Okay. did come out mostly clean. Well, we're gonna cut it in half because that is what it says it makes 2. No need to bring out my giant bread knife. Nice texture. It's a really nice texture. Look at that. Really, really nice texture. Okay, and then we will cut these in half and create bagels. I'm gonna let it cool for a little bit. I'm going to let them cool for a little bit and release some of their steam so they toast up nice and crispy for me while I'm making my eggs and everything else. And then we'll toast it up and give it a taste. I'm excited. This has 3 net carbs, like I said. I don't know what I want to put on this. I don't know if it's an English muffin. Maybe I called it a bagel. It's an English muffin. So I think we might just put some butter on it. That might just be suitable. So I'm gonna cut it in half again. Okay, so here's toasted, untoasted. And I just have a little bit of soft butter here. A little more. Now, I personally would toast this more. You're going, well, why didn't you? Well, I wanted you to see it mostly how regular people eat it, but I really like a crisp, dark toast, which is why my eggs are a little dark this morning. I browned my butter in the pan. Just gives a little bit of a nutty flavor to it. There we go. There it is, toasted and with melted butter. All right, let me give it a taste. Not much flavor. A pinch of salt would have gone a long way. Next time, a pinch of salt. And, but you know, it's really, it's nice and airy inside. It's a fluffy crust, a fluffy bread. I think this is fine. A pinch of salt and we're good to go. Maybe I'll try it with some almond butter. I don't have any. I won't be buying any till I'm through my peanut butter. This is from Trader Joe, and this has 4 net carbs. So it's 3 grams of fiber, 7 grams of carbs, 2 grams of sugar, 0 added sugar. It doesn't say that, but it's not added sugar, as there is organic Valencia peanuts. That's the only ingredient in here. So a pinch of salt would have been good. And that's per 2 tablespoons of the peanut butter. So there you go. Yeah, so a pinch of salt will be good. And some cream cheese on this might be really, really good. Or even just peanut butter across the top, since it's a peanut butter base. I'd probably make this again. We're trying out different bread recipes, quick breads for the morning, for toast, and see how they go. This is probably better suited for the cooking vlog, so I may throw it in there as well, but I wanted to show you. I picked up these 2 things from Lucky Foods, Lucky something foods. I'll link it, it's online. These are 2 different, one's pasta, one's rice, and they're made with konjaku, K-O-N-N-Y-A-K-U flour, and organic oat fiber. So we're gonna try those. Try this today. This is chicken and rice stir fry recipe, but tonight I'm making salmon for myself, chicken for the family, but salmon for myself. So I'm going to make a little bit of rice with it, some garlic butter rice, and we will see what this is like. And then this is just a pasta version. It's the same exact thing. This is just in a pasta form. It looks like ramen, more like a ramen form. Okay, I'm having one of those days where I'm exhausted. I didn't get dressed, didn't do any of those things, but I've cooked dinner. So, well, for me anyway. So I made the rice, and I wanted to cook it first before I showed you how I cooked it. And I promise when I cook it next, I won't look like this. It's interesting. The texture is unlike something you would expect. It's sort of a firm, rubbery texture. I think it'll be better suited as, Rob's looking at me, better suited as the pasta version will be much better. So let me show you. Okay, so here's the rice. And what I did was I drained it, I rinsed it, I put it in this pan, and I dehydrated it. So I heated up the pan and let it, you know, get dry out from being in the water. And then I put in about a half a cup or quarter of a cup of chicken stock, a tablespoon of butter, and an 1/8 of a teaspoon of garlic and salt and pepper. And then I let it just kind of cook down to where it's almost dry. So that's that. And I made some salmon. That's just Miss Erica's salmon. Let's see. Miss Erica's salmon right there. I will link you to her video where she makes it. I think I already have before, but that's what I'm having for dinner tonight. I think I'm gonna put it back in for a couple more minutes, brown that butter a little bit more, and cook it just a little bit longer. I said, it's an interesting texture. You could certainly fool somebody into thinking it's rice if they like their rice al dente. If they like the rice really cooked, you're not gonna fool anybody. But it's better than I thought it would be. So anyway, it's 15 calories for half a container. That's what I fixed, is half a container. And it's 6 carbs and 6 fiber, so 0. So I'm okay with it. Used before 9/19/2020. Don't freeze. Once open, keep in clear water for a maximum of 2 days. So we have to eat this within 2 days. And there's a stir fry recipe on the back. And I think if you are mixing this in with a lot of things, it might be better. So a stir fry might be really an option for this. The pasta, I really think this is gonna be good. So, especially if we put it with like sauce and some meatballs and that kind of thing. So, there we go. I don't know, we'll see. This will probably be next week, actually the week after next, because we're on a cruise next week. So, this is coming. I will leave this linked below, and if you want to give it a try, get it from the place I'm linking. Amazon has it, but it's kind of expensive. So, maybe get it where I'm linking you, unless you find a better place. Certainly shop around. There you go. All right, so I'm gonna let my salmon finish cooking. I'm going to sit down and eat dinner and not look like this the next time you see me. Okay, so there's my plate. I poured some of the butter from the salmon over the rice to give it a little more taste. And there's my salmon. And I'll likely have the other half of the salmon tomorrow or sometime. Well, probably tomorrow. I don't like to eat it more than the next day. So there we go. Good Sunday morning. It's Sunday morning. I wanted something sweet. So we're gonna make gluten-free, low-carb, and keto cinnamon roll nuts from nomnom.com. I have started the dough. It starts almost identically, although different measurements, to the keto tortillas by nomnom.com. So I've just mixed all that together. I'm gonna get the dough completely ready, then we're gonna turn it out on my Silpat sheet, roll it out, and I'll show you how I make it, and the filling and all of that stuff, and then we're gonna bake it and try it. And in between, while it's baking and all of that stuff, I'm actually going to eat breakfast so that I don't overindulge in these cinnamon rolls, because they are 2 net carbs per roll, and I think they're kind of small. I'm not sure, but that's okay. There we go. I'm gonna put them in the oven. Now, obviously, I did not cut my sizes very well. You do that better than me. Measure it out and cut it, you know, so you're exact on your calorie counts and things like that. So, because of the type of sugar used in here, and they're gonna get a little crispy when the sugar melts, but that's okay. All right, I'm gonna put them in the oven. Okay, there they are, nice and hot and fresh out of the oven, 10 minutes. Now I'm gonna let them sit for just a minute, and then I'm gonna drizzle some glaze over top of them. They smell really good, they look really good. She said not to cook them, he said not to, whomever said not to cook them too long because they'll turn into cookies, which I'm sure that's delicious, but these are supposed to be soft and kind of chewy. They were really easy to come together, and quite frankly, I cannot wait to taste them. I did not get to my breakfast. It took this moves so quickly I didn't really have time to cook breakfast in between, so I'm just gonna have one, then I'm going to have my breakfast, and then I may have another one. You never know with me. Okay, so here it is. I just put, oh, come on. I just put a little of the frosting on top. You can thin the frosting out either by warming it up or by thinning it out with some liquid, whatever, like almond milk. Let's see, it is a little crunchy. Here's the inside. There we go. Now, I didn't use as much filling as it called for. I felt like it was too much for my tastes. Oh, no, that's delicious. That is outstanding. This could pass for regular carb. Very, very good. Very, very good. Totally worth making. Very, very good. Totally worth making. Took hardly any time at all to make this morning. 10, 15, 20 minutes total. Perfect. Highly recommend. Go give them a taste. I'll link them in the description box. Super easy, super fast, very delicious. Okay, well, it is now 4:30, 4:26, and I need to cook dinner. So we're gonna have lemon, well, no lemon. We're just gonna have garlic butter chicken and green beans. And I've never made it to making the creamy avocado egg salad with crispy bacon. I'll be making that next week for lunches. And I think that'll be really, really good and a nice lunch. So that's what we're gonna have for lunches next week. So you'll see that on next week's vlog, next week's cooking vlog. So there you go. So it is lemon, garlic butter, chicken, and green bean skillet. That's for dinner tonight. I will leave it linked below. And as you have all seen, it is, the winner is, sorry, I wanted to get my little notebook. It is Flavor with Favor. So I will be sending the, oh, I don't have it written here who suggested it, but I will be sending her a t-shirt, our channel t-shirt that we have so far from Kay's store. So I'll be sending her one of those. And I thank you so much, all of you so much for voting and giving us, helping us with our series name. I'm sorry, I'm distracted by the dog outside. Anyway, not my dog. So I really appreciate it. I like to call this the channel that you guys made because so much of it has come from you, and I appreciate that. So I'm gonna cook dinner. I'll just show you the end result. This is super duper easy. It's basically just putting the chicken in the pan and putting a sauce on it. Just some garlic and butter sauce. It's really simple, and a little chicken stock, and then throwing the green beans right in the skillet with it and cooking them right in there. And I'm gonna use canned green beans. You can use fresh for this one, but we're gonna use canned green beans because that's what I have. I will show you when dinner is all finished, and then we'll go ahead and close out the vlog then. So I'm a little bit of a mess today, but that's okay. We took a lazy day, and I didn't feel like getting all dressed up. Okay, there it is. It smells heavenly. The green beans are very delicious. This was quick, easy, came together in like 5 minutes. I used canned green beans. You can, I'm sure, use frozen. And then the chicken, I used chicken breasts, not chicken thighs, because I think we've established how I feel about chicken thighs. I'm very much looking forward to eating this. I have these from earlier in the week, so we will have a bread with our dinner tonight. And I think that's gonna be it. I will put in the annotation like right here and let you know if it was good. It smells wonderful. I can't imagine it wouldn't be. It was garlic, paprika, onion powder, chicken and green beans. I left out the lemon and the pepper flakes because, you know, Chandler's not a fan of anything spicy. I think Rob and I might enjoy the pepper flakes. You know, jalapenos might be, not with the green beans, but if you left out the green beans and just used this chicken, if you threw some pickled jalapenos in there, I think they'd probably be pretty good. Anyway, so there you go. And I made some Mexican cauliflower rice. Might be very good. Okay, so there you go. So that's it for this week. I hope you enjoyed the cooking. I'm at this moment, I can't even remember how much cooking we did, but I know we cooked. So make the cinnamon rolls. They're very good. Have a great week, and we will see you next week. Bye.